Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bob Pass with Kathy Sullivan on the camera.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in goal today for Upper St. Clair Panthers will be junior Scott Matthews.
Okay, this will be the third game of the season. Panthers come in, 0 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. The tie was against Bethel Park, 0-0 double overtime, and the loss was against Cardinal Mooney, an out-of-state rival, with 33 seconds left in a double overtime scoreless tie there too. So we've played 2 strong games, looking for a third. Shaler comes into this game from the North Hills. We don't play them often, and we come out in our brand new red uniforms. For the first time, we're going to see a real good wind coming down the field left to right, so we'll be playing into the wind. Setting up the lineup is Scott Matthews in goal. 3 backs will be David Steen, Danny Poljak, and Steve Kyle. In the mid, we got 5 mids. It's Karsten Lachelle, Joe Rust, Shea Kumar, Phil Dormish, and Matt Wilson. And the 2 forwards, Jimmy Belak and Carlton Laston. Saturday afternoon game. And we're underway. St. Clair has the ball. Drops back to the defense and sends it outside. Okay, we're again ball possession team. Sends it up to Lachelle. Lachelle goes outside to an open Matt Wilson. Out of bounds off of Shaler. Shaler's going to back into their defensive mode. Steve Kyle tries to head it back in, and it's a throw in for Shaler. Shaler drops it back. They'll look to try to bring it across the field, and Carlton Laston steps in nicely. Shea Kumar has control, drops it back, and Karsten Lachelle. Coach Snyder already tries to get them to start making runs off the ball. And Lachelle up to Kumar with a push. It'll be a free kick. David Steen will take this left-footed from midfield. Drops it into the box against the wind nicely. A bounce. Laston challenges the goalkeeper, and it's an easy save. Freeman takes advantage of the wind with a nice line drive. Goes out of bounds. Kyle take the throw in. From the far side, drops it into Lachelle. Intercepted by Shaler. And Danny Poljak covers back, sends it out of bounds. First couple of minutes, a little raggedy here. Shaler drops the ball back, tries to send it in, a miss hit. Drops in, Steen will take control out to Dormish with a lot of field. Drops inside to Kumar. Kumar looked on to Matt Wilson going down the wing. Poljak goes up with a header. Lone forward out here for Shaler looks like number 6 is their go-to guy. Corey Casper. Laston chest is out of bounds. Joe Russ makes a touch. Dangerous play with a high kick, and it'll be going St. Clair's direction. Nice cool afternoon. Been threatening a little bit with rain, a little bit with sun, a little bit with wind. Kyle makes a touch, looks outside to Wilson. Wilson goes inside. Lachelle. Kumar gathers it in. Phil Dormish has space. And it's out off Shaler. David Steen takes a throw in. Jimmy Belak heads it back. Laston has it, drops it in. Joe Rush changes field. Wilson's open on the outside. They find him. Looks to center. Into the box, and the keeper gathers it in. He'll do a drop kick out using the wind. Clears all the way to the 30-yard line on the football field opposite end. Big advantage on restarts here coming from the left to the right. And then going the other direction, we've got to work the ball up. Shea Kumar looks to switch the field, intercepted by Shaler. Drops it back to the defense. Belak was in there, almost intercepted. Dormish is pressuring. Ball drops outside to the right. And they look inside to Gatto. Drops it back to the defense again. This could be long ball too. Casper and Gatto up front. Phil Dormish is down. And we've got an injury stoppage. We're roughly 5 minutes into the game, scoreless. Shaler versus Upper St. Clair Panthers. Phil Dormish is back up. Okay, on that injury stoppage, Shaler bring it back into play. And he's looking to drop it in. We're holding the 18. Going over the top. Nice, big boot in, using the wind. Ball goes up high on a block. Phil Dormish tries to bring it down. And it was off of Shaler. Phil Dormish will drop it back for Danny Poljak. Keep a deep throw for the Panthers. A lot different look looking at these red uniforms, but they do look sharp. Shaler sends it across, and Stephen Cowell sends it up the right side. Lachelle gathers it in, and Phil Dormish changes field. Room to carry. Sends it up to Carson Lachelle. Looking for Matt Wilson on the wing. Wind grabbed and sent it out. Shaler brings it back in, and Gavin's joined us.
Starting a little early today, huh?
Yeah, it was a different start times, 12:30, 2:30, and Gavin's back in swing here.
I apologize to any of the loyal listeners. We had basketball conditioning, and I didn't feel like coming up here and making these two smell me in the condition I was in.
Okay, Shaler take this direct kick from the 40-yard line. Again, big kick with the wind, drops it inside. David Steen brings it down with the head. Shea Kumar across, and Phil Dormish. Jimmy Belak.
Wow. Yeah, late spikes high. I'm going to get that every single time. Wow, I like the red uniforms. Very sharp.
Yep, just like the major leagues. We're going to a third jersey.
I have never seen a St. Clair soccer team wear red like this. In fact, I don't think we've ever had any red in our jerseys. I like it a lot.
Defense is using this wind to carry that ball out.
Boy, and this is a very active wind.
We'll see what kind of effect that has on the shots and the goalkeepers measuring it.
Well, it looks like obviously in this half it'll really take off on Scott. He's got to be careful.
Shaler goes inside. Steve Kyle heads it up. Danny Poljak tried to head it out. Dormish gathers it on the defensive corner. And Steen clears it. That was kind of unique the way we got bottled up there with the ball just popping up in the air.
Well, part of that can be, you got to really get your bearings judging the ball with the wind and where it's going to come down.
Long ball in again. Poljak controls into Rust. Rust looks outside to Dormish. Dormish touched by Shaler out of bounds. Restart the Panthers. Steen takes that left foot.
The ball just dies in the wind.
Yeah.
Going to have to really keep their balls low and line drive if they can.
Anything going right to left is going to take a time to work it out with a couple of touches for sure.
On the other hand, if Shaler's going to try to play long ball, it's going to be very difficult because the ball isn't going to sit. So, it does work both ways. Obviously, I'd rather have that problem than the Panthers' problem, but there's something to watch for. This is Shaler. Living here, he's going to actually have one here. Just what we talked about, ball takes off a little bit, skips, but Scott Matthews in good position, no problem.
That was Hamilton taking a shot, and it was pretty clear. He had a good look at the ball for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're talking about with the wind, you might as well. I'll bet they're going to, probably strategically try some longer shots, knowing they do have the benefit of the gust at their back.
Midfield throw drops into Shaler. Tries to change field, but nobody's out here. Phil Dormish has room to carry. Looks it over. Sends last into the corner. Bumped off the body. Ball's still in. And Carlton's called on the hold.
Well, that's another element of the wind we haven't discussed. When we play balls, they will hold up sometimes in that wind going against it. And that's actually, if you're a midfielder and you're a creative guy, and we have several, in O'Shea and Phil Dormish and Carson Michelle, it can hold up some of your balls and allow you to do some really creative things.
Steal off of Dormish, drops back to Shaler, and they're going to dump it to the corner. Gatto makes a chase. Scott comes off his line. Matthews changes the field.
We're seeing Shaler in the early going being very physical in the midfield. And Coach Schneider was expecting this. I talked to him this morning up in the gym, and he said he expected a very scrappy Shaler team. Traditionally, that is the case with the Titans.
Okay, referee's moving the drop back to midfield. Kyle drops it into Poljak. Poljak does have room to change the field going against the wind again. I think something that they're naturally looking to do is going to be unnatural with this wind holding it up.
Absolutely. Russ playing to the outside.
Wilson out there.
That will deflect off Matt Wilson for a Shaler Titan throw. Feeling out process here, but it's good to see a lot of ball being played in the Titan end. Oh, he almost touched it by him, Jimmy. Really good try. And look at that ball.
And that ball is flying. Scott Matthews comes to the top of the box. Steen carries up the left side.
Nice little play.
Lachelle does an overlap, yep. And behind Wilson. It looked like it was developing to be the play, and it just kind of fizzled out.
It was there, it's just they kind of stopped.
Dormish looked to go inside.
And that's the smart ball to play today. Low line drive. That's how you do
Kumar with a soft touch to Lachelle. Dropping it in.
That's a beaut.
Ball's going to hang in there. Dormish plays it off of Shaler. Shaler plays it off of Shaler. Yep, Shaler plays it off of Shaler. Danny Poljak moves up in the play. Stolen from Rust. Now it's 3-on-2. Gatto goes outside. Looks like Gatto and Casper, the two runners, are again trying to get out and get the long ball run.
Good ball by
Poljak to Belak right on his foot. Battle at midfield. Dormish tries to send it across. Ball control is lacking there. We were waiting. Gatto has a chip. Steen, a lot of green.
Yeah, kept that ball in play nicely instead of just booting it away. This is Ashe Kumar with tons of space. Does a little step over, now plays. And we have Lachelle, Matt Wilson. Ashe with a run, good precise pass. Unfortunately, we had two Panthers going for the ball there. But Laston wins it, touches wide. Can Ashe save it? He will. Back to Wilson. He's battling. Matty Wilson wins it. Trying to go middle with it. It's deflected. Rust wins the challenge. Now Dormish touches back to Dave Steen. Steen looks like he wants to switch fields with it. He does. Doesn't quite get all the way out there. Shell keeps it in nicely. Nice little turn. And Joe Rust has some room here. Now he's going to go all the way across. Dave Steen. Touches middle. O'Shea has some time. Is he going to let one fly? He does.
Yeah.
Boy, beautifully struck. Just winded wide of the right post. But that's a good shot. And he had some room there. And
Yeah.
that's what you like. O'Shea's got that good left foot.
What was interesting was Shaler started packing 8 guys in low on the 30-yard line, so we did have room at midfield. Joe Rust, Phil Dormish passing back and forth. Open it up for a chance in the middle.
Yeah, and if you give O'Shea, a couple of those chances, he's going to capitalize. He's the one guy you really don't want to give that much room.
Joe Rust makes a nice trap. And we got Ben Walker on the side. That's who Kumar is looking for.
Yeah, we had 2 subs that looked like came in. Ben Walker and I think Matt Myron is in the game on the right side.
Right. We've just passed 15 minutes into the first half. Scoreless, Shaler 0, Upper St. Clair Panthers 0. Goal kick clears midfield. Steve Kyle heads it forward. Walker finds Kumar.
Couldn't quite get it out. He had Phil Dormish and made a nice little attempt, but Shaler did a good job breaking it up. Kyle moving on. He's going to try to draw a foul there, and he did.
Okay, Daniel Poljak will start this play. Surveys the scene. Looks for Belak.
Here's O'Shea.
Dormish gathers it in. Nice ball. Over the top of Jimmy Belak, just barely.
Great hustle.
Oh.
Ben Walker.
Oh, that looked like a save from Ben Walker playing off Shaler. Referee was closer than us.
Good hustle. The fresh legs of Ben Walker paying immediate dividends for the Panthers, almost winning in the corner. That's good stuff. We are getting confirmation that it was out. Luckily, Mrs. Sullivan is our eyes up here, and it's very helpful. My vision just isn't that good to see across the field.
Walker playing tough on the right side. Crosses in. Shaler intercepts. Myron stops and Kumar.
Yeah, he was trying to drag the ball back to his left and couldn't quite get it there. Nice win by Phil Dormish. And he taps it away. O'Shea's got some space here. A lot of room, actually. Ooh, nice step over. He gets it to his right and airmails it, but really good individual stuff. And it was all set up by a nice win in the midfield. Clean win by Phil Dormish.
He had the chance there, that was for sure.
I just mentioned it a minute ago. I'll say the same thing. If you give O'Shea that much room in the middle of the field multiple times, he's going to capitalize at some point. He's a dangerous striker of the soccer ball. He'd like to have that one back, I'm sure, but you don't want to give him many of those.
Okay, goalkeeper Freeman takes it to midfield. Kumar sends it back in. He'll gather it again. This should be a long punt here.
Yeah. Tell you what, the Panthers are really getting the better of play in the last 5 to 10 minutes. You can feel the momentum sort of shift, and then the play is going more into the tight end.
Drop kick clears to R30. Danny Poljak gathers it in. Ben Walker playing both ends of the field. Kumar quick touch, but nobody was there. Kyle heads it out, and Casper gathers it in. He's going to take the shot right at Scott Matthews.
Keeps it low, probably a good idea. Walker's going to let it roll across the sideline for Panther growth. Another Panther sub. Rust out and
Michelle in. Pat Davis is coming up the midfield.
Yeah, it looks like Pat Davis is going to want to check in the game too here. No, not quite yet. We've remarked a lot at the Panther depth this year, and it's no secret the Panthers can wear people down and have been a much better team in the second half because of it. And they do have, I mean, 3 very key players injured right now with Sullivan, Palladino, and McCurry all out of the lineup. So it really helps to have this type of depth.
Coach Snyder's been playing just about everybody on the bench for sure.
And it doesn't seem like they really drop off a whole lot.
No. Nice cross. Belak was right behind the keeper. He doesn't make that intercept. A little bit low.
That's the second opportunity Walker's had to cross it. The last one he didn't hit cleanly. That one he certainly did, and that was excellent. Steen touches to Dormish. Phil Dormish has it. Back to the middle of Shell. And Steen touches wide. This looks like Dan Poljak. He will. Now they're going to switch the fields completely to Ben Walker. Going to try to spring Pat Davis here. He will. Davis using the sidelines. He's battling hard. Apparently still in.
Oh, that was not a good move by the defender saving that ball. Pat Davis went foot on foot with the defender on that shot.
Yeah, when you can hear it, that's not good.
Poljak sends it back, and now Wynn's going to hold it for Davis.
Here comes Walker again. Nice little creative chip.
Belak's there. Kumar's there, and the goalkeeper Freeman goes right over top of his own guy, but he makes the grab.
It was a nice play, very aggressive, very confident. He wasn't really worried, and he can't be as a goalie where everybody else is. It's your ball, and that's what you're concentrating on. And there's the your classic 90-yard punt. Uh-oh, Poljak loses it. He doesn't have much help. Poljak recovers, and
okay, this will be a corner for Shaler.
just across the halfway point here in the first half. We are still scoreless. Your Upper St. Clair Panthers, if you don't recognize them, it's because they are wearing their 3rd jerseys, their red jerseys today. Shaler's in their traveling blues.
Okay, Steve Hamilton taking the corner for Shaler. A couple of big targets in front.
Yeah, he's wearing the captain's armband today.
Low, Danny Poljak intercepts, clears up to the 18. You're going to feed it in again. A lot of Shaler players were hesitant there because they were coming from an offside position. Gave us the opportunity to clear it out, and then we got an inadvertent hand. Steen puts it into play across midfield. Belak heads it down. Matt Myron tries to retrieve. Dormish goes up with a head. Davis goes up with a head and a push from behind, and we'll take a free kick from about the 35-yard line on the football field.
Yeah, I mean, it was really unnecessary. I mean, it was, a positional thing, and that gives the Panthers a free kick in a spot you really don't want to give them up. Dave Steen has no idea. They're not really giving him a signal for where he should be taking this.
Should have been from about the 35. We're taking from the 40.
I agree.
And he's definitely not going to get any help from the Shaler sideline.
No, that's an official's mistake, really. They're supposed to be lined up and pointing you, giving you some guidance, but they did not do so.
A lot of hand checking in front with Pat Davis.
Beautiful ball.
Pat was the target. Keeper's out.
Ashe Kumar on the half volley.
And we'll call it from Dave Steen's free kick.
I'll tell you what, we just talked about how assertive the Shaler goaltender was about a minute or two ago, coming off his line and going to get a ball. That is a good thing, and it's a good trait for a goaltender to have. But when a goaltender...
Panther goal scored by Ashe Kumar off an assist by David Steen.
When a goaltender comes that far out of net and does not get the ball, you leave yourself in a susceptible position. So you can communicate with your defense all you want, but if you don't get that ball, you're really leaving the net open. Ashe didn't even hit that well, but because there was no goalie there, 1-0 Panthers.
We're going to be repetitive about this wind condition too, but I think these keepers are going to see something totally different than what they normally see. Hard shot to themselves, and they're going to see these floaters, and mistakes like that do happen.
Well, you might have touched on something. When that ball came off Dave Steen's foot, the goalie might have been thinking, wow, that's right to me, and the wind just held the ball off, because it was way out for a goalie to be coming, out to get with 3 defenders there, so it doesn't matter. It is a Panther goal, the 3rd Panther goal of the year, the 3rd Ashe Kumar goal of the year. Look at Dormish keep going. You love the effort from Phil Dormish. You never lack that. Oh, skipped a little bit.
This has given us a little spark here too. It looks like we're connected with some passes. So.
Well, I think that I think it, you know, it's a kind of a cause or effect thing. It looked like we were doing that a little bit, and you know, some of that stuff is leading to better opportunities. It's really great to see because, you know, and I even got the opportunity to talk to Coach Schneider this morning, as I mentioned, and one of the things he really stressed was the continuity in the midfield, connecting up with the defense in the midfield and then the midfield to the forwards. And it was one of the reasons that he made the switch to the 3-5-2 formation. He felt like they were able to get things going in the midfield a lot better and make that transition. This is Poljack with that long throw. Walker straight up in the air. He's going to get it again. It's loose. Myron plays it smartly back up. Owache couldn't quite trap it. Just misread the hop a little bit. Steen tries to put it back in, didn't get it in, and it's cleared out by the Titans.
Hamilton looks for a drop.
Yeah, he's making everything happen for them, Hamilton. He is certainly their target midfielder.
Walker makes the run. Coach Kumar called for that ball to come across. It did.
Yeah, he's been very vocal today, more vocal than he's been in the past couple of games. I think you know, he's been questioning several times them not making the right pass, not getting the ball outside. So who we have coming in the door? Was this zone? I couldn't tell.
The pace of the game is somewhat slow, and it's easy to read out here because we are getting space and we are possessing the ball. That was a run through on Pat Davis. And another bump and a throw down. There's a lot of activity going back and forth between Davis and the defenders.
It's the same guy I think he was tussling with earlier when the ref warned him. Usually after you get a warning, you don't tolerate that, maybe a double card or something. But Steen has it here. Bending
Again, looking at target.
Oh boy, that was dangerous. Now we got looks like a foul on the Panthers.
Oh, PK on a submarine play that referee's calling. Shaler coaches are halfway out on the field already.
And frankly, I think they have a point. It's not, you don't usually see that call. I mean, it was a lot. It was kind of one-on-one stuff, the type of stuff we really saw get let go, you know, on Thursday against Mooney.
And the player was up in the air, and it wasn't really a blatant takeout, but we'll take this PK.
Well, it's a prone position, and it to me, it's something that should be enforced more because when somebody's in the air, it is so dangerous to undercut them. And here comes Paul Gartlett Jr. over to give him either an explanation or maybe a booking.
Keep him quiet, yeah. Okay, the call from the referee was a tackle of a man on the ground. It wasn't even the in the air play.
Wow, well.
We'll take the PK.
And it'll be Kumar again.
Freeman in net. Shaler keeper waiting. And this ball will have to get whistled into play. We've got 15 minutes left in the first half, 1-0. St. Clair looking to go one more. Shea misses left, misses the post. And Shaler's fired up.
They can be a momentum swing either way.
So 15 minutes left in the half. Upper St. Clair Panthers 1. Shaler comes in at 0. Freeman will take the kick. Following the PK miss to the left of the post. Be interesting to see how this play settles down. Steen. And Michael Pizzone battling on the sidelines. Hamilton takes him down. It'll be a free kick. No doubt there is physical play.
Yeah, that was kind of, some of it's in the unnecessary category. The game against Mooney was very physical, kind of in the flow of play. Some of this physical is late physical, which you don't really like to see.
Ball's rolling. Steen sends it back to Matthews, and Matthews sends it out of bounds.
You got to be careful dropping passes back in this first half with the wind the way it is, because it you might only tap it, but it comes flying back to the goalie, and you don't want to put your goalie in compromising positions.
Shaler in the attacking zone. Tries to center the ball, and Danny Poljak clears it out.
Cross, nobody home. It's all Panthers there. Sea of red. Steve Kyle controls. Taps wide. We have Ben Walker here. Going to try to send Carl Lamb.
Oh, is he on the fly?
Boy, beautiful. Great run by
Ran
Lamb.
right around him. Who's there? Pat Davis. Handball.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got it with his left hand as opposed to his head.
That was a nicely sent in ball. Lasson was on the fly. Made the cross. Pat Davis was there, and instead of the head, the hand got on it.
Well, we're seeing great things today from really in two areas. The first thing we're seeing is great play from the midfields and the wing. Ben Walker triggered that play. Really did a nice job. And we've seen some excellent crosses from the Panthers. We've, nice little back hit. We got some loose guys. Lasson on, he mishits that, but Pat Davis with a good flick on. We talked last game about how we were getting some opportunities and the quality of some of the deliveries were not up to par, not where you'd like them to be. We hadn't been as much of an issue today. We've seen some really nice crosses by the Panthers.
Freeman bringing it out. Cross midfield with the help of the wind. Lachelle took a shot. Stevie Kyle comes across, and Mike Pizzone will chase back. Drops it back to Steen with a man coming on. Ball hung up. Ball out on Steen. This will be a long. This will be.
A foul on Pizzone.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Which I don't really like the call because it kind of penalizes the guy who was really hustling, which is kind of unnecessary. But
this kick is going to turn into a cross play, basically.
yeah, and it's a corner it's basically more dangerous in the corner because of the angle, and Hamilton put a beauty, but nice headed out. I think it was
Kyle came through there to help it out.
Yeah, Matt Meyer, and I think that was initial head on it. And a whole horde of Panthers. It's almost like a line change.
Matt Wilson in, Phil Dormish in, Jimmy Belak in, and Joe Rust in.
And Davis, Myron, Walker, and Pizzone out. Great stuff from Ben Walker, and then Pat Davis we saw very active as well. That's really what you like to see.
Okay, ball goes out of bounds, and we're just crossing. 11 minutes left in the first half. Panthers up 1-0 over Shaler. Steve Kyle traps. Lachelle looks outside to Dormish.
That's the ball. That's the one you need. Nice little ball.
Into Kumar.
Ashe tried to one time, and I'm not sure why, and didn't quite get it there. Had more time, and I think he recognized at that point.
Ball out of bounds. Steen will take the throw.
Whoa. Really unnecessary and dangerous. That should be a yellow card. I'm very surprised he didn't get one there.
These are all late hits well after the ball's out. A lot of chatter going back between bench to bench. Oh, what a shot. Nice volley.
That's high-level stuff. And the coaches are kind of getting chippy at each other, but I'm in complete agreement, actually, with Ryan Schwobel, the Panther assistant. That's three really late tackles that have been absolutely unnecessary. And, I mean, that one was into the sideline, into the bench there. You don't need to continue play. Yes, it is a contact sport, but not like that. Ball's up in the air, and Dormish heading middle. Wilson can't quite come up with it. Shaler trying to counter. Russ steps in, can't get there. Gonna play it wide. Hamilton again, but will touch it out of bounds. Panther throw.
Kumar settles the ball, sends it up the wing. Wilson's on the fly. Belak on a touch. Looked like it was going to be a give and go, or even looking up forward to a runner.
Hamilton's waiting for somebody to make a run off him, and nobody moved. Kyle will clear it out of bounds for another Titan throw, just about at midfield. They go up the wing again to Hamilton, playing with his back to goal. Trying to turn it. Kyle clears. Looks like a handball.
Yeah, that was a. Belak traps.
Nice
Plays it.
little play by, and nice,
Oh, what a heel kick.
yeah, nice back heel. Good pressure from Joe Rust, forcing Shaler to drop the ball back. Somebody's making a run here.
That's Gatto going the other side.
Just not going to quite get there. This will be another Panther throw, but deep in their own territory. Throws it to Rust, who has some space. Now he goes back to Steve Kyle.
Kyle clears all the way across to Dave Steen. Looks to Dormish. Tried to go inside and intercepted by Shaler.
And Michelle gets some foot on foot. This will be a Titan free kick in a fairly dangerous part of the field.
These fouls in the back third of the field definitely was not in play in the first couple of games we've seen these guys. Now we're starting to see it.
Well, that's, as a player, you really have to make an adjustment the way a game's being called. That's true in any sport. And, react accordingly. And Pence has been doing a pretty good job. This is really the first dangerous foul they've had. And we've got our first booking of the game. This is what I thought they'd do to Davis and the one Shaler defender who were hand fighting earlier. They've warned him several times.
Situation on these set plays too is we're taking a long time in between, letting these guys bump and shove, and then the referees are getting into it and the coaches are getting into it. If we just get some smooth play to get this game rolling, I think it would settle everything down. Okay, the explanations have been given. We've got a lot of dead time here. Referees are trying to set up. We got a three-man wall set up. And we're holding the 18. I think we're ready to set the ball into play.
Let's hope so. Pretty tired of the Shaler Titan coach getting airtime here.
Okay, 17 takes it an in-swinger.
Miss hit. And, not a dangerous play. In fact, you'd really like to have something better from there. I'm not sure if he was actually trying to put it on cage.
It almost looked like he was trying to take a shot.
Yeah, that's just, you just don't have that many of those opportunities, those set pieces deep in the opposing territory. You'd like to do better with it.
Dave Steen will take the kick.
He's purposely, you can tell, just trying to knock it down and keep it below the wind. Nice play by Joe Ross. Michelle to Dormish. Couldn't quite settle it.
Hamilton tries to center it in.
Should have been a handball on Shea. This is Ben Walker. Now Joe Ross. And wide we have Phil Dormish. Trying to get Ben Walker running. Can Joe win this? Not quite.
Kyle steps up, checks Gatto. Gatto brings the ball across. No runner into that corner.
No, they're not making the type of active runs that the Panthers are. Steve couldn't get it Ashe in the midfield. It's played back. Poljack has time, but he's going to defer to his goaltender, and Scott Matthews will get it. Switch fields with the throw. And Kyle. Plays it wide. Ben Walker, nice little touch to the middle. Ashe has some space. Trying to sneak a little through ball to Jimmy Belak, couldn't get it there, but Walker wins it again.
Nice lanky defender there, stuck a big leg out to stop that.
Yeah, he's got a little length on him, and it's a huge advantage as a defender. Fighting for it in the midfield. Nice little play there. Good win by Carson Lachelle. Ashe Kumar has it. Pushing wide. Good check back by Carlin Laston. Got a man down here. I think they called the initial foul on the Shaler defender who pushed Carlin Laston checking back for the ball.
And left advantage go.
I believe it's Hamilton who's been limping quite a bit, actually. That's him, number 12, and he's an important player for them. Between him and Sixer Casper, those are kind of their two guys who are creating the offense.
Now they're waving a stoppage of play injury off the field.
If the clock stopped, he has to be removed until the next whistle, I believe. I've never seen this much talking, I don't think, from the opposing sidelines without a booking.
Well, the PK in the box started it, and it's just never ended. And somebody again should be getting a yellow card just to be quieted.
Ben Walker,
nice turn, left foot.
Boy, Shaler kept their form there nicely and blocked it. Nice little backheel to himself. Good cross.
Kumar's there, and he wasn't ruled offside. Everybody wanted the call. Now they're.
There was two great things that happened there. The first one was, Ben Walker had that beautiful little turn, and then Carlin Laston did a nice little back where he turned it from his right to his left with a little back drag, and got a nice little strike to the middle, and Ashe had a header. Pretty open from point blank.
A little too tough for Phil Dormish to grab. Shaler will throw in on their own 25-yard line. Dormish heads it in. Lachelle comes through. Continues to come through. And
boy, he was the one playing the ball there. I'm not a big fan of that call, but I have a feeling the Shaler sidelines are buying some calls at this point.
I think the referees also are giving way to not hearing a lot of chatter.
Well, absolutely. I mean, as someone who refereed for 4 years in college, I would not take this type of consistent.
Big inside.
It's still up there.
Goes clear out of bounds on the kick.
And that's that wind factor. That ball was probably really well struck, but unfortunately just kept going for the Titans. And Panthers dodge a small bullet. Matthews will get a gold kick.
Takes his own kick.
Nice ball. That's the one.
Sent over to Dormish. Complete change of field. That was nice. Tough to do today, but there was a lot of green open spaces. Shaler compacted their defense.
Yeah, Dave Steen plays that nice low driving ball, kind of like Chris Burke did last year with his left foot. It's up in the air. This is Lachelle. Wins it. Panthers are onside.
It's a race. Keeper gets to the top of the box. That ball looked like that could have hung up too for a Shea to beat him to the top of the box.
Yeah, it was close. I didn't think there was going to be a chance with his first kick. Walker trying to trap, took a little skip at the end, but he still gets it. He and Ashe with a little give and go here. goes down the line again there. Laston wins it. Or Laston, yeah. Ooh, nice play by the Shaler Titan midfielder to keep it in. Kyle goes up and wins it. Touchback. Rust's going to look wide to Steen and has him with tons of space.
Winding down to 2 minutes left in the first half, 1-0 the Panthers. And it is interesting to see this whole defense compact whenever they get on their side of the field for Shaler. It gives us a chance. We just got to be patient and control the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, what Coach Schneider keeps saying on the bench is he wants them to just keep switching fields and gradually work the ball in until, you're at the 30-yard line of the football field and getting a good cross. Here's Kumar. He has time. He's going 1-1. Nice little touch. Tried to do a little give and go with Carlton Laston, who was in an offside position when the ball was passed.
Defender made the step just as that pass was getting let go.
Yeah, he actually recognized it. I think they kept their shape very well and stepped up and drew him offside. Sometimes as a forward, you think you're shielding the guy with your back to goal, and he kind of creeps by you.
Freeman sends it across midfield.
Steen with a nice long ball. Ben Walker's motoring.
Laston with him.
Walker wins it again.
Oh, yeah, Phil.
Ross back to Walker, who has tons of space here. Go wide to Jimmy Belak. Cross in the middle. Leaves it for Belak. Wow, struck really hard. It hit the football crossbar, I believe, as opposed to the crossbar on the soccer goal. So it'll be a goal kick, but that is a quality strike from Belak.
On that pass inside, Coach Snyder said have one, and it would bounce back to him. He did have one. It was a nice line drive on the volley. Like I say, hit the crossbar of the football goal post.
That ball had bounced up a bit, and anybody who's played soccer knows that's a hard ball to keep down, but he really did a nice job of staying over it. Now Panthers going to try to get one more chance here with 10 seconds left, but it doesn't look like it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we'll wind down here at the end of the first half. Upper St. Clair Panthers 1, Shaler 0. Shaler 0, Panthers up by 1. Starting lineup for the second half, Scott Matthews in net. Same three defenders, Steen, Kyle, Poljak. Mids are the same starters, and Belak and Laston up front. Shaler starts with the ball and going right to left.
Ooh, a little one touch by Belak. Nice change of pace there. Kyle touches. Nice little touch inside by Matt Wilson. It's loose.
Belak
Belak
has a take.
Panthers now have the win, so it's a little bit different strategy. I think Jimmy Belak thought the Shaler goaltender was kind of creeping out of goal and tried to play it over him. A little bit of a mishit, but I think from a strategic standpoint, a good decision. And Panthers are going to try to pepper Titans with shots and try to get the next one.
Freeman going against the wind isn't clear in midfield, barely making the 40 this time.
Boy, what a difference. Nice possession here from the Panthers. Belak controls, settles. Nice win by Jimmy Belak. Sending Phil Dormish to the corner here. It's loose. Can't quite settle.
Dormish chips back. Belak taking his position behind him. Rush tries to feed the ball in. And Pizzone doesn't make it to the end line. Again, after the ball was released, taking Belak's legs out from under him.
Yeah, really dangerous play, and then very late stuff. But, Coach Snyder yelled, keep watching the play. And that's a foul on Carson Lachelle, probably some retaliation for his teammate, but that's what happens when you start letting things go. Frankly, you'd rather see that because that's a play on the ball. When it's late, that's when you really object to it.
All right. Okay, big defender 17 is going to take the free kick. Lofts it way in. Steen eyes it, heads it back out.
Boy, Dave Steen's doing a superlative job of winning balls in the air today. Got a lot with his head.
Dormish getting more into the play this half. I don't know if that was a discussion at halftime or not.
The possession from the Panthers in terms of, tapping the ball back and forth and getting their transition that way has been the best of the 3 games so far this year, in my opinion. Really much better high-level stuff.
Poljak will take this kick from the 35 football yard line and drop it in.
It's loose.
Dormish is having a chance. Short, choppy shot. Missed the side of the net.
Ball was bouncing a little bit, unfortunately, and when he planted, the ball just kind of bounced away from him, and he hit it off the side of his foot. But boy, these are good chances. That was a really nice free kick by Poljak in terms of its placement.
Freeman again, not clearing the 40.
Pizzone's got a lot of room here. Got a free kick for the Panthers here.
And Steen will take this left-footed in-swinger.
This will be interesting to see what route he plays now that he has the wind, if he keeps playing that low stinger. Now he's going to get it up in the air.
Keeper comes out, makes a play.
A little too deep now, and you've got to readjust because of the difference in the wind. I mean, it makes such a dramatic difference. You've got to readjust where you're aiming, where your target position is.
Shaler had a nice wall to help that goalkeeper be shielded, too.
He tried to roll it forward to gain some distance on the kick there, but Panthers still win it. Unsurprisingly, it was Karsten Lachelle again. Steen trying to switch fields here, looking for Wilson. Can't quite get it all the way out there, but it'll be a Panther ball. Rust touches outside. Wilson will not be able to contain it. Coach Schneider pleading with the Panthers not to bunch up and to stay wide so they can, when they switch fields, they have that room. And it's way out of bounds. Should be a Panther throw.
Steve Kyle take it from the right defensive spot. Drops in. Matt Wilson plays it through.
Good idea. He tried to get a little cute with the flick, but had a guy running on him.
Steen's going to look to send it in.
Good time. Pizzone timed his run well. Can he keep it? It's that wind again, making that ball run. He caught him on the fly and just before the offsides position, but again, very, very difficult at this time.
So far, for the first 5 minutes into the second half, they haven't crossed midfield, and this wind is definitely an advantage for us maintaining ball control.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Wilson shields, turns nicely. Nice little poke. Matt Wilson, good stuff. And just played out of bounds. Oh, no, he hooked that in nicely with his left. Or just throw the ball out of bounds, which is usually a card, but...
Poljak takes a long throw, curls it in. Dormish
Nice
gets
flick.
a head on it. Still in the air. Shaler will take the throw.
Dan Poljak with his head. Kyle steps in nicely. This is Matt Wilson. Boy, what was the call?
It was the retaliation of the forearm. No.
Boy,
It's going the other way now.
I disagree wholeheartedly with that call.
There was a little bit of body-on-body by Gatto and Kyle, and then a late whistle and brought it in. I almost thought that they were going to get Gatto for the after effect.
It doesn't make any sense if you're going to call the guy who's playing the ball. He's the one taking the direct line there. If the contact's initiated that way, it's not a problem. You have to play the ball first, and you happen to initiate contact. That's not a foul.
Six takes the kick.
Oh, it's flicked up.
Header over the top, not in the direction of the goal, luckily.
It was a dangerous ball by Casper, one of the captains. He really beautiful in-swinging ball. And they got a flick on it, but not cleanly enough to get a goal out of it.
Matthews will take the kick. Chips it to the 35.
Nice flick by, and another flick.
A lot of help. Kyle's getting run on. Good play, lets it go out of bounds. Drops into Rust.
Tried to bicycle it and go. Lost his footing a bit. And another Panther throw here. Hopefully the Panthers can get back to kind of switching fields and maintain a possession that way, although Shaler's a little more aggressive pressuring the defenders this half, if you noticed.
It looks like there's double teams, triple teams, and they're using the sidelines to help them too. We got to spread the field.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly what Coach Schneider's yelling. This is Phil Dormish. Going to play to Russ. Now back to Dormish. That's some bad obstruction, and the Panther will be a Panther free kick. You got to play the ball at some point, and he did not.
Danny Poljak will take this kick. Chips it low. Dormish traps. Tries to turn. Floats it way over the crossbar.
The Panthers here, if there's one nitpicking flaw I can point out right now in their attack is I think they're getting they're too anxious in terms of their finishing. They're not settling the ball and taking better chances at it. They're trying really high difficulty moves to try to put the ball on net. I think they have more time than they think, and you want to make sure you get a quality attack.
That was unlucky. Bielak got up and it headed the wrong way.
Wynn just holding it in the air. Bielak trying to flick on. There's Wilson. Plays off the back of the Shaler defender.
Something else this year too, that these forwards and mids are definitely pressuring the ball. We used to give a lot of space and play patient. It's nice to put the pressure on the guys, make them make a mistake.
I agree. If you have enough depth to do it where the guys don't wear down completely doing it, and I think the Panthers do. This isn't the MLS, this isn't the English Premiership. Backline guys are going to make mistakes and wear down by continual pressure. And, you've seen mistakes. Even Mooney, a team as skilled as they were, you saw several backline mistakes. We have a Titan throw here. Touches back. Now let's use the space here with the switch field. Steen has it, and he's going to. See if they choose to switch it here. This is what Coach Schneider's been yelling about. Wilson holds.
Nice recovery.
Nice ball there.
That's
the other. Laston. Good shield by Carl Laston.
Nice and physical going to the corner.
Now we got
a hold.
Shaler hold.
One thing about that lateral movement, forwards were holding their line, and all of a sudden we did get a chance to feed the ball up, and Matt Wilson took advantage of that to Laston.
Tactically, it looks like the Shaler defenders, it's almost like what they're trying to do is just shield, and when you don't make a play on the ball at all, that's by definition obstruction. That's the nature of the rule. This is Dave Steen. In-swinger, and that's going to be a corner for the Panthers. He really drilled that, and that was kind of his only play.
That was a nice shot, though. That front end of the net was open.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'd be interested to ask him whether that was what he was trying to do. So we got Phil Dormish here.
Dormish is going right-footed. Some pushing going on. We're on the ground, but the ball's coming out. Any of these corner kicks and set plays, they're always watching the crowd in the front.
Yeah, and there's always lots of banging going on in there. That was part of my favorite part of the game, and I think you gotta love that as either a forward or a back player, because your livelihood depends on it. So many goals are scored off set pieces and corners.
And if you get the call on 1 out of 4 or 5, then those other 4 or 5 you're getting away with.
Absolutely.
Too.
Nice little cross.
Brought too far for Wilson.
But I love the ideas right now. The one touch, when you start getting confident with your possession and you start doing one-touch runs off each other, it's really high-level stuff. And when they start reading each other better and getting more confident with it, you're going to spring people.
Kumar's back in for Mike Pizzone. And this will be a deep throw. Drops it into 17.
And Dormish is switching over to, it looks like he's at the left outside spot. Interesting.
Off of Shea. Shaler will bring it out. Lachelle brings it down. And Steen looks the field over.
Wow. Absolutely unnecessary collision.
Steen was looking the field over, getting ready to send the ball, and got run over by the freight train coming across.
Coach Schneider's getting frustrated. You could hear him laugh because so many of these challenges are so late.
Okay, refs are making a change. David Steen, big left foot. Oh, is it hooking in?
Good ball. Shaler wins without a problem. Rust heads down. Belak touches back nicely. Kyle plays it back in. He's on sides.
Dormish is there. That was a good play. Everybody was trapped up.
Lachelle has space. He winds it in. It's Belak with the head. Ooh, nice little flick by Jimmy Belak. Couldn't quite turn it, but that was good stuff from the Panthers. Did not get caught off sides in the transition and then the transition back, and got a good opportunity out of it.
Like we said before, they're putting 8 down below the 30, 20-yard line. And when it packs in like that, it's tough to move the ball around. So that transition pulled them up, and we had some open green.
Heads up. They're banging. Shea does come out with it.
That little bit of pressure that Shea put on there just by running by made the mistake.
No, he's fresh now. He's been sitting. It's probably the longest we've seen him sit out cumulatively, so he's got fresh legs. This is Steen again. He's waiting. Plays a low ball. It's sitting.
Dormish
nice
on the
turn.
shot, right at the keeper.
That's a better quality strike in terms of, you know, when you. It's that last touch that we talk about so often, and coaches lament. It's that last touch, and he really struck that well.
We're just about 15 minutes into this second half. Score: Panthers 1, Shaler Titans 0, and we've maintained since the opening kickoff field advantage. Scott Matthews, I don't think, has touched the ball the second half yet.
So we got another sub here on the near side.
This is Anthony Caruso for the first time this year.
Nice little flick with his head. It's Laston. Lachelle goes in hard.
They take out Carson, Lachelle, and they're still arguing about the call.
And actually, to be honest, I agree with Shaler on this one. I think but that's the same thing we've seen called against the Panthers a couple times, where if you play the ball and then the contact is initiated, it shouldn't be a foul, and I don't believe that should be a foul.
This will be a big chance here. David Steen on the hash marks at the 20-yard line.
They're going to also have O'Shea, which leads you to believe they might be thinking about putting this on cage. And
Steen goes through the wall, around the wall, and through the players and out of bounds.
Well, one good thing he did was keep the ball down. It was, a good strike in that way, but the ball didn't bend enough, and that's tough from that angle with the wall there. That's the reason you set up the wall in the direct line to the goal.
Freeman again does make midfield.
Very nice. Poljak wins it. Nice turn from Dormish. Nobody quite home. Boy, the ball was misplayed by the Shaler central back.
There's Caruso. Touches to Wilson. I'm sorry, that's Lachelle.
Laston touched it. Here we go. It's Dormish. It's loose. And that's going to be a Panther corner, I believe. Yeah, a lot of contact there. The Shaler goalie did a nice job coming off his line there. And oh, no, I called it a goal kick.
Center ref change again.
Well, the only thing I can figure is either the ball deflected off the Shaler goalie and then back off Phil Dormish.
Freeman takes a kick, gets help. And Scott Matthews scampers to the top of the box, picks it up. And
kind of a miss-hit by Matthews.
Off his foot.
Belak tried to flick to the corner, couldn't quite get there. And that Lachelle's over the back. Carson's going to get some of those just because he is so aggressive in the midfield, and you'll take that because of how many balls and the high percentage of balls that he wins.
And it's a physical toll. He takes it on his side, and he also has to give it back some. Big in swinger.
Beautiful.
Poljak steps in.
They're still battling. A lot of people, but it's loose here. Heads up. And Rust clears smartly. And here come the Panthers, seeing if they can get a counter out of this. Bielak, nice little turn by Jimmy Bielak. Nice little move to sidestep. Could have been a foul for obstruction. Yeah, they got him. They were going to wait for advantage.
That confusion on the 18 there, too, was not good to leave that ball kind of floating.
Yeah, that's why it was scary. It was kind of like which Panther was going to clear the ball. Dormish checks back nicely, and here he is. Steen was making an overlapping run, but Phil's going to hold. He's going to keep holding. He sees a man cutting. It is Caruso. Good idea. It was a good creative run.
Keeper makes a save, and he'll send it back out on a goal kick. Tries to drop kick. He does make it past the midfield this time. Wind died down a little bit to help him.
Nice battling by Carson Lachelle in the midfield, winning the Panthers a free kick.
Pat Davis is waiting at midfield to come in. Steen will put this into play with his left foot. Up in the air, that's off Shaler. And he saves it from a corner kick by sending it out the side. Okay.
Davis will replace Carlton Laston up front. Gonna use him as a target. Hopefully he's on some of those crosses. He can get his head on one. He almost did earlier. They called a handball, but use his superior size. This is Dan Poljak, and he's dangerous from here, as we've mentioned many times. Davis was going to try to flick it. It's loose.
Dormish drives it low off the post.
Panther
and Davis plays it off the Shaler defender.
It's great when you mention something, you talk about it, and then they immediately improve it. And the quality of these last touches have been much, much better for the Panthers, especially Phil Dormish.
Dormish hustles the corner.
It's loose. Boy, that was a nice in-swinger. It's up in the air now. It's still loose. Steen. Oh, what a save by the Shaler Titan keeper.
Out of the air coming from behind.
Great strike by Dave Steen, who rarely finds himself up that far. I'll give the Shaler Titan keeper credit for two things. One, to have the reflex to make that save, and two, maybe it was a little lucky, but he kept the ball right at his side, and we could have gotten a rebound.
Oh,
that is vicious.
Laston got taken out chest high.
That should. I'm
sorry,
shocked we don't see a card.
Wow, that was a loud hit that we heard clear up here.
Yeah, and it studs up too. It's not what you like to see.
Steen sends it across. Kyle looks inside to Rust. Bumped off the ball.
Very nice turn, Joe Rust.
Recovers. Dormish was looking to send it in. Still is. Long shot. Keeper saw it.
Phil's getting frustrated. He thinks the defense is back far enough that we can get a better run at some of these crosses he's making, and he's not getting it.
No, he's getting it up into the wind too, so it's adding a couple of yards to what his set play is supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. Could be a high boot, and it is.
Dangerous play. Caruso came through. It was a dangerous play on Shaler. He's standing in front of the ball. Was pretty obvious.
It was a high. I mean, he got his feet way up, and this will be Poljak.
Again, some long feeds that are just going further than what they normally would.
Yeah, we've got to start adjusting because there's too many opportunities to let slip by. One-goal games are scary, and they're scary for a reason.
We just passed 18 minutes left in the second half. St. Clair Panthers over Shaler 1-0.
Rust is going to get a blow here. Matt Myron will check in the game. Boy, for as much possession as the Panthers have dominated, and they've had probably, and the scoring opportunities have been, 5-1 at least. You got to capitalize. It's part of the game. This is Pat Davis. He's running onto it. He keeps it in. Can't quite cross it. Shaler will keep it in bounds. He was trying to win a corner. Couldn't quite get it. Nice settle by Lachelle. Touches middle. Belak. Kyle touches wide. Caruso. Nice little give and go with Myron.
Shaler coach is saying don't chase the ball. He wants them to keep their form, and they are packed back, 8 guys low. And they're looking for one big break to go up the field because they're definitely not mounting an offensive attack.
Panther backline has been really stellar so far with only a couple exceptions, and it gives you confidence to press numbers forward. Lachelle way up in the air. Here comes Caruso running onto it. Belak wins, trying to turn it. Caruso touching it forward. He's pressuring. This could be a corner for the Panthers, and it will be.
Yes, it is.
Good stuff from Caruso to win the corner there. He did a little hesitation, then booted him off. And, good poise with the ball.
Just a little body on body made it work.
Belak's getting a blow. He's really played a lot.
McCurry's coming in for the first time today.
This is the younger McCurry?
This is David, yeah. Dormish sends it in. Keeper goes back.
Ball's a little too tight to the end line. This keeper is very aggressive. If you can play it out closer to the 18, I don't think your strike's going to have to be as quality because he comes out automatically.
And you're pulling him, yep.
And that's how they scored the first goal and the only goal.
Nice clear and punt that time.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Dormish brings it down. Shaler comes out of there with it.
Nice play by Lachelle to win it.
Oh. Dave McCurry went back with that ball, and he had 3 runners coming with him. Shoulder by Lachelle. Myron brings it down. Little chip. Pat Davis is in the middle.
Been going at it all day, those two.
12's out with a yellow card. Pat Davis, the other 12. Matching 12s go out on yellow cards.
Pat's been involved in a lot of stuff. He's so tall, he naturally probably takes a lot of shots to his back, which when you're tall, that's what happens. Scott Dilley used to complain about it for years, and he's got to keep his poise a little bit better.
He gets a lot of attention. 23 down low is getting him, now 12 up high. We've got 15 minutes left in the second half. 1-0 St. Clair Panthers leading Shaler.
And the Panther captains, they called, I think, the captains in for a little meeting there saying, hey, calm it down a bit, because Steen and Poljak were in talking with the Shaler captains.
Okay. Lachelle out.
As is Dormish.
And Dormish out.
Rust and Ben Walker.
Yep.
Hopefully we can spring Ben Walker down the left side. He's done a really nice job working the sideline so far today.
David Steen looks for a chip over the top. McCurry in the chase, header back to the keeper. And he plays it with his hands as he's allowed to bring the ball out.
One guy I think the Panthers got to start finding here in the middle of the field is Ashe Kumar. He's been a bit quiet in the second half after being very active in the first. And he's kind of the go-to guy in terms of scoring goals. Here he is. See if we can spring him loose a bit. Nice play, very aggressive by Myron.
Ashe tried to drag it through. Curry heads it up. Shaler keeps the ball in. Kyle gets there, sends it out of bounds. Like I said, it has been a while since Ashe's gotten into the flow of the play here.
No, and he's the guy you need to get touches. He's such a dynamic offensive player that should be a red throw.
Belak's back in.
Not too long of a blow for Jimmy. Myron's battling. Shaler's going to win it. Big number 8, rolling out of there with it. Little give and go.
Still going straight ahead. There's Gatto,
Heads
number
up.
8. Stevie Kyle comes across. This is going to be a dangerous free kick right in front.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing that happened there was Kyle looked like he had the angle there, and Joe Rust kind of ran into him. And boy, this is a really dangerous place to be having a set piece at this juncture of the game, I'll tell you that.
8's ball handling skills were straight ahead, too. He was not going to change direction, so it was an intercept course that Kyle was coming across with.
I have a feeling it'll be Casper 6 to take this strike. He's been involved in most of their scoring opportunities. He and Didamasso, 21, the two captains, stand side by side. He steps over. It is Didamasso with a little chip. Boy, kind of a wasted opportunity. I like the creativity of the shot, but you really want to keep the ball in play in that point, try to get a rebound or something.
Scott Matthews will take the kick from his 6-yard line. Wind helps it across the 40. Ben Walker brings it down. Shaler's starting to make a little bit of a play here.
Yeah, number 8's winning some balls here and creating some things for the Titans. Casper, a little stop and go. Sending a player to the corner flag. Steve Kyle. Good shield by Steve Kyle. Very nicely played. McCurry couldn't quite keep it in. It was a really good attempt, and the Panthers kind of got it out of the real dangerous area of the field, but will be a Titan throw in Panther territory.
Shaler trying to trap this ball in there our end.
Yeah, they're actually committing numbers forward in probably as significant numbers as we've seen today, but you're down 1-0 last 12 minutes of the game. That's what you got to do. A lot of battling. Rust.
Bringing the ball down. Who's going to get it? Try the volley.
Not sure what he was trying to quite do there, but Matthews hasn't really had a whole lot of tests today, but he's passed the ones he's had with flying colors. Tried to flick it, couldn't get it. Here's 8 again. Joe Rust, good hustle by Joe Rust.
Caruso sends him, looking for McCurry going to the corner.
Great hustle by McCurry.
Was a shield that he paid for.
Well, I'll tell you what, even if you don't get that ball, that's a great message that McCurry sent saying, it's not going to be easy, and that's exactly what you like to see out of your players. And we figure some of the midfield play, not winning balls that we were winning, and back into the game comes Lachelle and Dormish.
Caruso traps forward. Gatto makes the turn. Everything goes through Casper. They do drop it back a lot.
Yeah, I mean, now that Hamilton's been off with his card, now that that's happened, he's the sole guy. Belak touching forward, can't quite beat. He had 2 guys and 1 shielding him.
Sailing out to the right side. That was the same kind of play early in the game as Scott Matthews had a shank outside, and goalkeeper Freeman went up into the wind and it pushed it right out again.
So we got Pat Davis checking back in for McCurry, and see if he can avoid getting into some physical confrontations here again.
He's low on 23 right now.
This is Rust, and he has some space here. He touches out to Caruso. Trying to play to Davis's feet, can't quite get it there, but he's going to win it again. Nice little run to the corner flag. He has a step. Can he turn it? And there's that win. The ball just took off.
Tapped it ahead too far for himself. 9-minute mark left in the second half. Panthers up 1-0.
Panthers have certainly subbed more. The Titans have not hardly subbed at all. They should be the fresher team at this point. Caruso heads down. Belak touches. Here's O'Shea. And O'Shea puts it wide to Steen.
What a hold.
I mean, that kid is overly physical, 34. I can't believe he hadn't gotten a card so far, but Steen, very, very strong kid.
Dave was making a nice curl around him, and he was beaten. He was just holding on.
Dave Steen is a strong kid, I can tell you that. Flicks it in. It's
nice,
loose.
It's there. Lachelle was there, missed that.
Took a high skip on Joe. Joe checks back nicely, and Steen has it. Plays it wide. Dormish touches middle. Nobody home. Looking for the counter.
Yeah, and one man high Casper, and they're looking.
And it's going to be a foul on Poljak. Shaler free kick here. Fairly deep in Panther territory. Panthers have got to commit numbers back here and make sure ball is not one in the air. Hamilton's back on the field now, and you have a hunch. And they're also bringing that sweeper up who has so much height.
Yeah, 17.
Although they're not committing as many numbers forward as you'd think. There's still 4 guys back. Ball's played way up in the air. Oh, Matthews, he spilled it. Oh, boy, he had an open turn there and couldn't quite make it.
Didn't gain possession coming off his line and then laid flat.
Yeah, he just juggled it a bit.
That ball was sitting there with an open net waiting to go in.
That's what we've talked about. When the wind is blowing against you, you keep coming, and you can't believe you have to go this far when you initially thought it was going to be right to you.
That carried over top of the Shaler defense.
Belak wins. This is Davis. Crusoe off his own man. Rust wins it.
Davis definitely gets a lot of attention back here. 12 and 23 are in his pocket.
Steen, little give and go with Lachelle. Dormer sends Dave Steen. Great run.
Caruso's back door. If we can hook it.
It's still in. Crusoe on the keeper, couldn't quite turn it. You love to see your defense making runs like that, and Dave Steen did a great job there. And Carson Lachelle, really nice curling past him on the give and go and created a good opportunity.
It was timed right, and the decision was there. Russ called on a handball. Winding down to 6 minutes left in the second half, 1-0. Panthers still holding on.
It's going to be Casper again on the free kick. He had a beauty last time that almost resulted. It probably was the best Shaler scoring opportunity of the game so far.
Now we're starting to flood a couple more guys up.
Kind of a miss hit there, not even just about the 18. Poljak gets loose.
Drops at the 21.
Wow.
Oh, just missed the left post.
Boy, Dino Masso, I'll tell you what, he had a nice little turning shot. It didn't look like he had that much on it, but Matthews was over to the left side there, which was where the free kick went. And it was kind of it kind of sneaked up on you there. It really didn't look like that was going to be a dangerous opportunity, but anytime you let the ball loose there, it's scary.
It was dropped between the hash marks right at the 18. Pat Davis pressuring. He's going in on the keeper. Forced that miss hit to Caruso. Nice work. Caruso does a quick throw. Now we're going to drop it and let Danny Poljak take it. And this again, first opportunity for Anthony Caruso. Now we're going to try to play this big throw by Danny in.
It's loose. Give me another corner.
It was in between Davis and Kumar.
Now O'Shea's going to take the corner, which we haven't seen much of. He can hit it with his left foot though and kick an in-swinger as opposed to a righty who, the ball is curling away from net.
But he's going right-footed.
Interesting. Well,
You're right. He can do both. That would have been a normal play.
That's a great ball though.
Oh boy! A header down to the left corner, but it was the defender.
Tell you what, I don't think it would have gone in anyway, but Jimmy Belak has gotten his head on about 4 or 5 balls today directing towards goal. That was probably the cleanest one he's hit. I have a feeling he's going to get some balls with his head.
Okay, we're going the other way because the defender was there.
Davis out, and is this John Worthy coming in?
Yes, again, another big target in the middle. First time he's seen action today. Dormish in front.
Boy, he almost got it.
Wasn't the head, he was looking for the foot.
Boy, and John Worthy just came in the game and almost got a piece of it immediately.
Shaler exhorting the coaching staff exhorting the goalkeeper to get this moving. We're winding down to 3 minutes left in the second half. 1-0 Panthers.
Interesting, John Worthy's playing actually what looks like almost a striker spot, which is I guess that's when you have a 1-0 lead, it's a more defensive posture. Worthy's been a marking back this year quite a bit.
Over the top, Caruso and Chase. And
That's a throw-in, I think.
The referee called it red. He changed his mind. He definitely said red. Shaler brings the ball in. Rush chips it out. Shaler's been playing rope-a-dope this whole second half, and now for these last 2 minutes, they're looking for a big push. Oh, man.
So it's Casper again. They've had 2 dangerous opportunities off free kicks just from this spot.
Chipped in again.
That time Poljak gets his head on it. See if O'Shea can get it out of trouble. Oh, the Shaler player fell down. Let's see if the Panthers try to counter. Here's
Belak by
Belak.
himself. Worthy on the run.
Beautiful ball by Belak. Caruso has
Caruso
all
has
kinds of space.
Looks inside. Worthy's there.
It's got Kumar.
Kumar.
Boy,
Keeper
couldn't quite
falls
get a
on
good
it.
piece of it, but great stuff from the Panthers out of
That
the
was-
back line.
That was a big counterattack. Like we were susceptible for that from Cardinal Mooney. We changed that around real quick.
Great ball by Caruso. He really curled that in nicely. This is Dormish. She's looking for Caruso on a run here. It's through. Can he get there? He can't quite get there, but this is good stuff from the Panthers. Best defense is having an offense like this. Belak has it. Touches wide. Lachelle touches. Here comes Caruso. Very nice. He kept it in.
This is definitely a different tactic than we've seen from the Panthers the past couple of years. Instead of staying back and playing defense with a minute left, we're pushing the attack.
And I like it. Nice play by Joe Russ. Got a toe poke on it. He chests it down. Kyle steps in, can't quite get there. Gatto has it.
Looks outside, 21.
Great save by Scott Matthews.
Knocked
Wow.
Out of bounds for a corner with 40 seconds left. Shaler is really going to have to hustle.
Boy, you really liked how Scott Matthews is positioning there. He moved along with the shooter and really took all the angle away.
Extended, knocked it out of bounds.
Inside of 30 seconds here. This is the last chance for Shaler. Shaler pushed everybody forward. It's loose. Oh,
Off
it's
the
off the
football
football
goalpost.
crossbar. Boy, Shaler, their best 3 or 4 opportunities of the game have all come in this last couple minutes.
We don't even have to take this into play probably, but
8, 7, 6, 5,
Steen will take the kick long.
3, 2, 1.
And at the end of regulation, St. Clair Panthers 1, Shaler 0.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob, the one thing you can say about this is, and that points it out to you in the last 2 minutes, you've got to capitalize on your scoring opportunities because the Panthers dominated the flow of play the whole night, but if you don't score more than 1 goal and you don't take advantage of your opportunities, one bad mistake, 1 bad bounce, and right back in the game.
Okay, and again, thank you for listening. We'll see you again.
Whew.